Well, hey everybody, I'm firing up the live stream, and as you can see, there it is, and as you can see, I've given my
There it is.
hand up, a salute, and
And
I'm putting
I've
that in.
given
Given my sworn oath as I do this, okay? And turn this around like so. Let's see how I can do this. Ta-da! Like that, right? And go back to say view on watch page. Straighten that out. Put that there. Move it over here. Line up the camera. And voila. There it is. To which I say, hello. Hello, Mr. Macy. How are you? Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. And I give a thumbs up there. Then I go to the editing room and go to this area. Click on this. Click on this doohickey to do that doohickey, to do the other doohickey. Make sure you do the thumbs up doohickey. That's right. And then I'll do the meta tag doohickey, so I can get started with the live vlog doohickey, which is me, really. Yeah. And then I'll click on the view on watch page doohickey to get started with the rest of this doohickey. Lots of doohickeys. Hey, we have, wow. USA wins, tunes up Panama ties. Wow. Jesus Oroso, go Dubs, right to history in 16-0. And Raider Kuko, hey, how you doing? And thank you, Steve. It was an interesting live stream from Vegas today. It was. It was quite. I think the Raiders and the Las Vegas Stadium Authority should thank Jim Comey, because I'm thinking that a certain percentage of the reason for the poor attendance at the Las Vegas Stadium Authority meeting today was the Comey hearing, and everyone was at some party watching it. This was a big deal. This was a huge deal. You have to say, hey Pedro, how you doing? Pedro Raider. And this was a huge deal. And hey Steve, so what's going on there? Citron. So everybody, tell me, first of all, what did you think of the Comey hearing? Did you see it? What was your response before I go into the standard Raider talk? Because, you better hope we don't see this again in our lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? Jesus says Trump is in trouble. And Jesus says Trump is in trouble. What say others? This is Comey Day. Comey Day in social media, right? Comey Day. Wow. And Dexman187 says Trump will be impeached. Steve Macy says, honestly, I was hoping he nailed Trump to the wall. You don't think he did, Steve Macy? Jesus Rocco says, I'd like to know what was said behind closed doors. Me too. Raider Kuko says, Trump baggage will keep growing and will overflow soon. Go Warriors. Hey, Go Warriors, how are you? Hey, how you doing? And Steve Macy says, not enough for me. What's the magic mark for you, Steve? I'm curious. What is that thing that would put him over? What was that thing he does, talking about Trump, that would put him into the impeachment box? What is that thing? I'm curious. What is that thing he does? Anybody? I'll tell you what it was for me. The takeaway that I got from that entire hearing was that he pressed the point that the United States election was influenced by the Russians. And that, as much as I suspected it, sent shivers through my spine. It scared me. And Steve said he didn't hear the whole thing. And I have to say, there's a Raider that follows me on Twitter. I'm not going to bother saying his name. Very disappointed in the man. Not for being conservative. That's not an issue. But for not thinking, or for seemingly thinking it's okay that our election was tampered with. It's okay to tamper with the election as long as he likes the outcome. So all of that issue, all those problems conspired to take attention away from the fact that the Raiders' Las Vegas Stadium project is in some deep doo-doo. And Go Warriors says, hey, Zenny, I will not be on any of the streams. Okay, that's fine. You'll be on. All right, that's okay. But you could send me a private message and let me know that one. But anyway, Go Warriors, what do you think of the whole politics stuff, Steve Macy says, the fact that he runs our great nation scares the heck out of me. Yeah, it does. It's scary. It really is. Go Warriors, what do you think about this? Or just curious. And, oh, by the way, have a great time at camp, Go Warriors. But have a great time at camp. And so, and I mean, excuse me for coming off that way. Sometimes on live stream, it's difficult to have a conversation when people have private conversations with you in front of others on the stream, or they try to. That's more of a private conversation thing. Live and learn. So anyway, Dorian, how are you? Dorian! We have the great ones. We have Dorian, Steve Macy, Go Warriors, Steve Macy again, Jesus Orozco, Steve Macy, Go Warriors. What's up? Donis is in. Donis is in the house. We have, boy, you know what? All we need to round this out we don't have Mr. Anderson, we don't have Mr. Marks, and Golden State Raider. Hey, how you doing? And Joseph Jones said, Zenny, he should never have been elected. Golden State Raider says, hi. Hey, how you doing? Dexman says, Trump only ran to wipe Obama presidency accomplishments a la... Yeah, he did. He really did. And the Raider says, what'd it do? Dexman says, Obamacare, which has helped me. But, I didn't come to talk politics per se, but I'm merely emphasizing that the Comey hearing took a lot of attention away. And it took away from the fact that, and Steve Macy says his policies on LGBT is horrible. The people in his cabinet are horrible. And DeVos are a complete joke for the education. Now, here's the thing for me with Trump, okay? I admire Donald Trump, and I have, as a guy with an urban planning background for decades. I've said this before, I'll say it again, I tried to get on The Apprentice. Was interviewed, got to the second interview, nowhere, no way. I thought Donald Trump should have been the one to rebuild the Twin Towers. I thought he had a great plan, and it didn't happen. But because of that, the Donald Trump that we got, not prepared. Not prepared. Golden State Raider says, I saw your video of the FBI director. Thank you for breaking it down, Zenny. Oh, hey, thank you. Joseph Jones says, Trump never expected to win, and when he did, he became overwhelmed with the duties of the office. There you go. Hey, Go Warriors, you're quiet. What's going on? What do you think? What do you think about this or the Raiders issue or what have you? What's going on? So, I think that basically, again, Steve Macy says, let's talk Raiders. Talking Trump is depressing. I agree with you. It is. But you know what? It's all over. It's unavoidable. I was flipping channels, and you flip channels and there's that Spanish language channel that you go past because you may not speak Spanish, right? Unless, of course, there's this, something you want to see, then you can kind of stop, and there's always something that looks kind of silly or interesting, right? Well, in this instance, it was Comey. And they were talking in Spanish about Comey at length. And I thought, whoa, when you see that, the impact of what he did is universal. But yes, it is depressing. It is quite depressing. Go Warriors said, Look at my last comment. Scroll up. And let's see here. He says, "Hey Zinni, I will not be. I saw your last comment, but that's personal." I did, Gores, but that's personal. Okay, I'm asking you what you thought about the Comey hearing or the Raiders issue. I mean, not the comment you left is one that you could have left in an email or a message. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. Oh, go down from that comment. All right, maybe I'm missing something here. I don't see any other one. I'm going. Oh, I see. Yeah, all I see is look at my last comment. Scroll up, then go down from that comment, which I did do. And Golden State Raiders says, "Yeah, I don't see it. I do not see it." So maybe you attempted to type something, but it didn't appear for some strange reason. So fascinating. Type it again. Cut and copy and paste. So anyway, Steve Macy says, and then Go Warriors again says, go down from that last comment. That's interesting. Anyway, Steve Macy says, "I don't speak Spanish, but nothing wrong with the beautiful women on those channels." There you go. All right. Donut says, "Do you think the GOP is in deep trouble next year?" Given that we have a part of the elected that seems to just not care, I don't know. A few months ago, I said, "Oh yeah," but now I'm watching some of the reactions. I don't know. I think these off-year elections, like the one here in Georgia that's coming up on the 20th, I believe, those are telling. Now, Joseph Jones says, "I missed the live stream. Could you break down what happened in Vegas?" Says Joseph Jones. Gladly. What I'm going to do right now, Donut says 50-50. I'm just going to turn on the fan here because, folks, it's humid tonight. And John Marks is here. Hold on a second. One moment, please, all right? One moment. All right. You know what would be cool is to have a shirt that says Oakland Warriors like this with a cool logo. John Mark says, "We'll be right after these messages from General Foods." Yes, General Foods. I would love General Foods as a sponsor. So hey, can you hear me with the fan going on in the back? I really need the wind there. All right. For those of you who missed my stream on the Raiders in Las Vegas earlier, I will break it down for you. All right, it's like this. First of all, the meeting started out with 3 public speakers talking about, all of them, talking about the community benefits issue. And, 4. 2 African-American male, 1 white female, 1 Latino gentleman. And Joseph Jones says, "That's why it's called Hot Atlanta." Yeah. Anyway, the upshot was that, with the exception, first of all, the black contractors that appeared expressed disappointment that they had not seen on the agenda the community benefits agreement. They expected it to be on the agenda by now. It's not there. The good news is that 18 of the unions got together a few days ago and began the process that would lead to a community benefits agreement, which is really good news. And I said it on my earlier live stream, and I'll say it again, that the politics of what you favor, Las Vegas Raiders or Oakland Raiders, you want to see everybody come together and get their fair share of work. That's what you want to see. So that's John Marks, that's the good news for them. But I will say it's going to stop there because, first of all, the UNLV agreement is not done. There were 4 pages of items that were introduced today, which you can see on Zenny62 on my Scribd account right now. Scribd is the document uploading platform. I'm going to put it on my blog later, but I meant to do that earlier today, but it's been a busy day. At any rate, I'm going to show you, or I'm going to read to you the UNLV agreement. I'm not going to show it to you because sometimes I think people get dizzy, when I read that. But I do want you to see this because it is absolutely... I said see. I said I was going to read it to you, right? All right. I am going to deliberately read it to you rather than bring you down and show it to you, right? I'm going to read this to you. I want you, and hey, Steve Collins, how you doing? I want you to hear the poison pill that the Raiders have to consume around the UNLV joint use agreement. Note it's called joint use. It's not called sublease. It's called joint use agreement. It says it in black and white. Las Vegas Stadium Authority, UNLV joint use agreement. Preliminary issues for consideration. Now, I thought this is supposed to lead to a sublease. When it says joint use, that implies equal use, right? So this is what UNLV essentially hands to the Raiders. 1. Extent of the premises. These are called preliminary issues for consideration. You'd say, okay, maybe just a handful, right? All right. 1. Extent of the premises to be available to UNLV obviously includes the stadium, but also needs to include parking, staging areas, and ingress and egress associated with the stadium. That's number 1. Term of the lease, 30 years. Same as the team use agreement, similar renewal schedule. 3. Use of the stadium and stadium-related facilities for A, regular season games, and this is where it gets necessary but comical in the length, but necessary. A, regular season games. B, playoff games. C, limited practices, e.g., pre-game walkthroughs and preseason camps. D, locker rooms. E, seats, all classes. F, media areas, press box. G, pre- and post-game interview rooms. H, reception areas. I, coaches' rooms. J, training facilities. K, recruit tours. L, storage space. M, club access. N, ticket office. O, scoreboard. P, public address system. Q, coaches' headphones. R, advertising areas, message boards. S, Jumbotron, video board, Provision. T, access to internal audiovisual assets and facilities. U, restrooms. V, equipment used for setup and cleanup. W, broadcasting production facilities. X, other. Number 4. That was just number 3. This is number 4. No, we had 3A through X, right? 4. Stadium configuration and any required changes during UNLV games. 4A, decorations. 4B, signage. 4C, university colors. 4D, home field atmosphere, which is this amorphous thing, but we kind of know what it means. 5, facility rent and or the cost of direct cost chargebacks. A, amount of rent. B, time period for payment, settlement. C, taking steps to reduce operating costs. D, invoicing and documentation. E, audits. F, keeping of books and records. G, dispute procedures. H, definition and listing of operating costs. I, services provided by affiliates. J, credit card charges. And it goes on. That's just page 1, folks. Here's page 2, 6. A. This is 6, scheduling. A. NFL event priority. B. Major event priority. C. UNLV games. D. Other UNLV games. Events. E. General scheduling progress. F. Future cooperation with scheduling changes. G. Timing of date selection and objections. This is number 7. UNLV game day access to the stadium. A. At what time does UNLV get access? B. Use of the event the day before to prepare the visiting teams' locker rooms, practices, and walkthroughs, both teams, and similar events held in preparation for game day. C. At what time does UNLV have to vacate? D. Can NFL activities and other stadium activities occur simultaneously? E. Reserved areas. F. Cleaning. G. Changeover. H. Exclusivity / non-exclusivity. Hang with me, Zensters. You can do this. There's more. 8. Major revenue centers. A. Suites, luxury boxes, skyboxes, super suites, club areas, and premium and non-premium tickets. I. Suites, etc. for the university's use. That's 1. 2. Suites, etc. for the university to sell and or sublicense. 3. Food and beverage consumed in the suites, etc. 4. Ticket sales, delivery, and admission. 5. Ticket access for stadium company. 6. Maximum and minimum ticket prices. 7. Discounted tickets. 8. Complimentary tickets, set-asides, and locations. 9. Scholarship donor tickets. 10. Student tickets, set-asides, and locations. 11. Ticket fees and charges including commissions. B. Merchandise sales. 1. UNLV should have the ability to sell merchandise at the stadium. 2. UNLV should retain profits from those sales. Okay. 3. Quality of goods sold. 4. Types of good that can be sold. C. Concessions. Concessions will be sold at the facility. 2. That's 1. And then C2. UNLV should receive the net revenue from the concession sales. 3. What about donated food and beverage? D. Parking. 1. Access to and use of spaces. 2. Allowable rate. 3. UNLV should be able to retain all net parking revenue. But see, they didn't say on-site and off-site, right? They got to clarify that. E. Television and radio broadcast rights. 1. UNLV should have all rights to the broadcast and disseminate by radio, television, telephone, or other method. 2. This is E2. UNLV home games and to retain all revenues therefrom. Now we've got F, advertising and promotional. So we got E, now we got F, advertising and promotional rights. Okay? 1. What advertising is available to UNLV? 2. UNLV's ability to retain revenue. G. Other revenues. H. Definition of net revenue. Good question. 9. Requirement to play home games at the stadium. Does UNLV have to play all home games at the stadium? What happens if it does not? 10. Requirement for pre-game preparation meetings, preseason meeting. 11. Field maintenance, field markings, and field conditions. 12. Services to be provided by the stadium events company. That is basically right now the Raiders. Stadco. A. Facility management. B. Box office administration. C. Crowd control. D. Security. E. Standby fire and medical emergency response. F. Janitorial services. G. Stadium upkeep. H. Utilities. 13. Services to be provided by UNLV. A. Game operations staff. B. Game entertainment staff. C. PA announcer. D. Stats. E. Officials. F. All boys. G. Why not all girls? G. Scoreboard operator. H. All game day equipment and staff. 14. Stadium signage and entrance. A. Home of the UNLV Running Rebels. And they made it clear in the meeting that the stadium has to include some marking that says it's the home of the UNLV Running Rebels. Right? 15. Right to review and provide comments on stadium design. Wow. That bears repeating. They didn't talk about this in the meeting. Right to review and provide comments on stadium design. Limited to areas such as locker rooms and field configuration. Okay, that's fair. Field configuration. 16. Other general contracting issues. A. Alterations, improvements, and additions. B. Treatment of taxes, possessory interest. C. Responsibility for taxes imposed. D. Entry, access, and inspection rights for Stadco. E. Licensing of and use of intellectual property. F. Indemnification. G. Insurance. H. Assignment. I. Maintenance, repairs, alterations, and improvements. J. Termination and remedies. Phew! And finally we get to the last page, which goes on with K. Compliance with applicable laws. L. Disputes. M. Domain. N. Force majeure. O. Quiet enjoyment. And P. Notices. And that is mercifully it. And that, folks, you might think is enough, but there's something missing there, all right? Yeah, as Go Warrior says, good grief, and dang, the thing is long. How many pages are there? There's 4 pages, but they're small print, all right? But the one thing they left out was the PSLs, all right? They didn't mention that UNLV gets the right to its PSLs. They didn't mention it does not either. The law says it does. They got to add that back. Steve Macy says, sounds like UNLV holds the cards. Didn't I tell you? John Marks, UNLV signs with Donkey Punch. And Octavio Arias says they will have to have 4 locker rooms, 2 for NFL teams, 2 for UNLV and other teams. And Octavio also says UNLV will get artificial turf, and the Raiders will use natural grass field, which is a big issue. What's the cost for that? How are you gonna roll that out? It's one thing to say that, but to actually put something in practice that makes it doable. Woo! Woo! John Mark says Raiders, Donkey Punch, Broncos. Okay. Steve Macy says milk. And let's see. Octavia says Davis gets Raiders games and other events, not UNLV events. Hey, Rick Rice, welcome. How you doing? Okay, I see the Donkey Punchers. Got it. ML Scott, how you doing? I see. I see. Okay. Steve Macy says we have Cool Whip. I'm going to ask my wife to make banana cream pie tomorrow for the Warriors. And hey, Go Warriors! I didn't see. I just like Go Warriors says are my comments getting seen, or are they not getting seen? I see it. I saw that one. John Davis says UNLV is cleaning up. Steve Macy says I wish I had some pie. Now I'm hungry. Oh my God. John Mark says Las Vegas is dead. And John Mark says Davis needs to apologize to the Raider Nation for not being honest about good faith negotiations with Oakland, admitting that Vegas and LA are mistakes. And Steve Macy says, thank God they know the alphabet. Quentin Baca, how you doing? Quentin says, will Flavor Aid be provided during or after the reading? Hey, how'd you like that reading, right? That was pretty cool. I know it was long. A lot of you are kind of like, oh my God, I'm canceling out of this one. I went from 22 to 10. That happens. Brad Brugman says, so Mark Davis wants UNLV to pay for everything? Ha 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 ha. And John Marks says, yeah, that's why we need to call Desiree Reed Francois, Director of Athletics, 702-895-4729. And okay, yeah, so I read that, and I know it, a lot of you are like, oh my God, why do you do that? But this is the only place you can get that kind of coverage, all right? Because were it not for my reading it to you, I bet you creds Navy Beans you've never seen the thing, some of you. Some of you have taken the time. Others, you're busy and you got things going on. But you cannot say, I did not tell you, right? So, yeah, there you go. Now, John Davis says UNLV will leave the Raiders like an outhouse to use. It sounds like, yeah, it does. And Corvette, hey Corvette, how you doing? Corvette says, I hope Mark Davis loses the team and they stay in Oakland. Corvette, Oakland. And yeah, it's just, this is is this, let me see what's going on here. Maybe a buffering issue here. Hold on a second. Let me close some. Oh, I don't know. It may be. Let me do something here. I will close some things. I think I know what the problem is. Hold on. Let me try this. Let me try that. I think that'll help. Okay. And then I'll go to the iTunes and quit that. And boom. Boom. Okay. And then I'll go and close some other windows here and here and here. I believe it's a RAM thing. I believe it is a... Okay. Alright, so let's see that. That should do it. Alright, how's that? Is that better? One moment, please. Is that better? Hold on. Okay. I think we're gonna, yeah. Bad again? Oh, bad back again or bad again? Let's see here. Better? 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 Let me turn this up so. Okay, cool. Yeah, got it. Okay. We're all back. I see that. Now, go Warriors. Yeah, no, okay. Sorry about that. I had it turned the other way, so I'll turn it back this way. Mark says, Mark Davis lied. He never really tried. He didn't. Go Warriors says, I posted 5 comments about how Comey stinks, and I reloaded my page, and it's not there in chat. That's weird. Oh, you know why? Don't use stinks. Okay? Because stinks is a filter word. Because what happened was I was analyzing how people had been trolling each other, and whenever they use a word like that, that goes into the box. So if you just say something that doesn't fall into the category of that kind of adjective, it'll clear. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you'll get frustrated a lot. And I had to do that just to keep this on the straight and narrow. All right. So. And yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Hey, Donuts. You said for a moment. What were you talking about? And John Davis says UNLV gets 90% of the stream. I like that. ML Scott said, "Go Warriors." Maybe some of the words you're using are filtered out and won't come through. Exactly. That's what it is. I have about 300 words filtered, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, just, try not using an adjective. Try saying something, try articulating yourself without feeling the need to call a name like that. You know what I mean? It's good practice. It's good practice, okay? Cool. See that one? See, Go Warriors, that one came through. It says, I'll replace the word. Donut says, live stream I was talking about. Oh, I see. Is the live stream working out for you? Let me know. Octavia says, sends the list of banned words. Hell no! You think I'm a fool? Did I look like I was born yesterday? No, I'm not. If I do that, how do I know it's not going to wind up in the hands of Ricky Bobby? Right? Go Warriors says, tell me if you can see this comment. Yeah, Raiders stay in Oakland. Comey didn't like him, still don't like him. Comey is dumb. Don't tell the truth. Trump will be into 2024 until the 8 years is up. No. John Davis says he will get banned. Yeah. Octavio says, haha. John Mark says, I've got 7 words you can never say on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, Donut says good for a moment. But I mean, is it good now? That's not enough for me. So anyway,
because mine looks good. All right, and I got you, Go Warriors. I got you. I'm trying to make everybody Zensters. I'm trying to mold the brains and make them think and say intelligent things, and rather than just, dang it, that sort of thing. All right, cool. All right, cool. And not only that, I'm using the correct end of the camera. I don't have that problem like I had before, right? Joe says, Zinni, didn't Davis say he wasn't willing to change the field colors? He did. But if you look at, yeah, he did say that, but if you look at the model and the fly-in, he changed his mind. But still, this is a lot to go through, that list. And it's going to take them a while to go through it. This is the first time UNLV has presented something like that. And I don't know if, some of you might remember the hullabaloo about the new athletic director having worked for the Raiders. Well, that was a quick honeymoon, wasn't it? Because as soon as she got on, boom! She just, boom, take that! Here's a huge list, man! Bam! Yeah! This is what we want you to consider. Okay. And so, let's see here. Any info from our friends, and let's see here. And John Mark says, fix the stream. The stream's working for me, but it does say poor connection, and I don't know why it's doing that up and down. I've got 2 dots. So, what's going on? I don't know. It's just weird. This is one of those weird, it's a full moon. I'll blame it on the full moon. Steve Macy says, any info on our friend who has the stent operation? Barry Lee. Yeah, where is Barry Lee? Where's Barry Lee? And where's King Jose? Steve Collins says the stream sounds good from him where he sits. Joseph Jones says, sounds like UNLV is trying to sabotage the stadium deal. Yeah, that's what I'm pointing at, Joseph Jones, that UNLV holds all the cards as others have recognized, and this is what I've talked about. This is what I'm talking about. And so, I have Wi-Fi. It goes back and forth. Whatever's going on, it goes back and forth. So, let's see here. It's not, but everybody has a different experience. So, whatever. Now, I've got 29 watching, which means that something's working here. So, John Davis says, UNLV wants a pink Raider field. Now, Go Warrior said the stream is good for him. Octavio, all right? Raider Cat says, UNLV still needs to worry about water quality. Hey, and then 831 Scott says the stream is working great for him. Go Warriors says, King Jose, I think, has gotten upset about the LeBron James thing and might be why he's not in chat. Yeah, but if they win tomorrow night, he'll be back. Watch. Yelling and screaming and putting up a stink, right? Go Warriors says, or here at all. And so Octavio, it's good now for Cook. Awesome. We got 32 watching. Woohoo! Welcome everybody. Welcome. I'm gonna go around the internet and see what others are saying about this lease deal. I'm gonna put Raiders. I'm gonna put Raiders UNLV, and see what we get. Okay. In Twitter, and we've got. Let's see here. Darren Arata put me up as the top. Thank you very much. It was very nice of you, Darren. And Tyler Bischoff. Who is Tyler Bischoff? Don't know who he is. He's the coach's corner. All right. He says, bad news is that not only will Raiders get scheduling priority over UNLV, but so will major events. And he has the list. And he says, good news for UNLV is that Raiders Stadium Events Company will pay for some stuff on UNLV game days. And Adam Candy says that the list is not exhaustive per Jeremy Aguillo, but lengthy. Well, you want exhaustive? Hey, keep talking. So, this is some interesting takes. And then there's me. There's my face. Doing this. Hey. So that's the top. Those are under Raiders UNLV on Twitter. Those are the top takes. And let's see here. And someone wrote that Mark needs to sublease to make rent. But hey, they're very specific. They don't want. They, being the stadium authority, has said that the Raiders cannot turn a profit on UNLV. They've said that. So Let's see here. We've got repeated tweets, Raiders UNLV. Then some of my things here, which I will, give a little push. And I say prep for agreements. There's no critique here. It's just layout. Nobody critiquing anything other than me. Now, I've talked about, oh yeah, and there's what I put up on Scribd, okay, as the full document. I put the full document up there. Dang it. I'm supposed to go and read this thing. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Go and work and read the thing. Dang on it. Consarn it. Dang it. Dang it. But, alright. Now, back to a conversation. Now, I was going over the social media to see what they were saying. People weren't really saying much of anything. They were just repeating the headlines. There was no other criticism than, what I pointed out to. And earlier, I did note that the stadium financing is way not done. And not only that, Jeremy Aguila admitted as such. He said, we have to figure out, quote, how this thing works, unquote. I went, what? Are you kidding me? Go Warrior says later, Steve. Oh, Steve is out. Steve Collins says they better figure out. Okay, I'll see. But Steve is gone. All right, Steve is. Hey guys, gotta go. Zany as usual, great job. One love. You got it, man. Dorian says UNLV should change their colors. Octavia says sorry, but baseball puts me to sleep. John Davis says I don't know how Mark Davis can pay for this if UNLV gets all the money. And not only that, John Davis, I'll repeat, the Las Vegas Stadium Authority has said that UNLV cannot be used as a profit center by the Raiders. Joseph Jones says, where the hell is the city of Oakland? They should be all over this. Go Warrior says, bye, Steve. Bye, bye, bye. See you, Steve. Later. See you, Steve. See you, Mr. Macy. All right. See you. Now, Steve Collins says they better figure out how much everything is going to cost and who's going to pay for it, putting the cart before the horse. 831 Scott says Cavs aren't going to win tomorrow night. The Warriors still have the bad taste of last year in their mouth, and they are going to finish them off tomorrow night. So 831 Scott thinks it's going to be like, Donis says, I have some exciting news coming soon, Zenny. Can't wait to hear it, Donis. Go Warrior says, see you later, Steve. Steve Macy says, later, Warrior. Joseph Jones says, SNTIC sounds like the Trump administration. I will tell you that I don't see how they're going to make that deadline. I know they're crowing as if they're going to, the 2021, but given all these hurdles and obstacles, unforeseen territory, given the initial lease and how UNLV was treated in it versus, and then this, I see storm clouds. I see a lot of work they have to get through, and I'm not saying they're not going to do it, but I cannot see 2020. Why are they rushing this deal through? And not only that, where's the stadium financing? They're supposed to meet with the bankers within a few weeks or so to determine that. But again, they don't know what the financing structure looks like. That's what Aguirre said. Are you kidding me? What did they show in the NFL? Wow. Wow. And then Go Warrior says, hey, Zenny, we should dedicate a stream to all things baseball. Interesting idea. John Mark says, okay, I'm back. Joseph Jones says, I see a hurricane, Zenny. I don't see a hurricane. Go Warrior says, laugh out loud, John. You should hear me here laughing like that was a fumble. Oh, too funny. Funny stuff here. Funny stuff here. Now, we've got... I don't see anybody talking about... Let me see if anyone's written any articles on UNLV lease. Let's see here. Let me try Raiders. Boy, Raiders. Oh, Raiders, UNLV joint. As in, not... yeah, Raiders were still working on deal to use Plant Stadium. That was KLAS 2 hours ago. And Las Vegas Sun, let's see here. says Stadium Authority updated on key contracts. So let's read what KLAS TV's written. That's Patrick Walker. He posted this at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, which is 7:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It says the Oakland Raiders are still working on an agreement that would allow the football team of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas to play all at their planned stadium in Sin City. And it goes down to, it says that some of the issues to be discussed include scheduling, all the stuff that I read to you, right? And this is news. It says Stephen Hill, the chairman of the authority, met with Senate Majority Leader Aaron Ford to hammer out a plan to draft community benefits, which has been a hot-button issue. That's the first time the media has actually talked about it. This is, Las Vegas now. And Hill says, we're going to have to start to finalize some things. I mean, we have a lot of agreements that need to be done, and the Raiders are looking to break ground before the end of the year, so all that work needs to get to be done so that they can move forward. In other words, hey folks, we're behind schedule. Right. So, and yeah, the tax revenues, as I wrote, do seem that are projected, but they are it's still not where I'm comfortable. It's still scary. All right. Now getting back to your comments. Here we have here, not thinking typos. Octavio Arias says, having myself a cookie and cream sundae. John Mark says 11 of them, talking about the agreements not happening. Go Warriors says, I love ice cream sundaes. I love hot fudge sundae with chocolate ice cream. And Benjamin West says, Zinni, will you attend many Raider games if they indeed move to Vegas? Probably not. No. No. No, I don't. No. So there. No. So Davis PO'd a lot of fans. Says Steve Collins, things are going to get ugly now. Oh, yeah. Davis pissed off a lot of fans. And things are going to get uglier sooner rather than later. Okay? Just letting you know that. Where are all those Vegas people? Hey, by the way, folks, thumbs up. I want to see. We got 28 watching, but only 8 thumbs up. I want to separate the wheat from the chaff. Who's a fan? Thumbs up so we can see out there who's from Vegas, because they're probably not. Man. John Mark says, have you spoken up? Not yet. 8 when Scott says, you will not see me in Las Vegas to watch a Raiders game. We have 12 thumbs up, 30 watching. We have lost 2. Vegas people, they're gone. Heck with them. But the whole point is, what will you say if the deal is dead? I mean, if reality happens, will you be upset? For those of you who want to see this, will you be pissed off? What if the deal's killed? Okay? I want to know, tell me how you'll feel if the deal is killed. Yeah? John Mark says, Oakland Raiders forever. Joseph Jones says, never was a Vegas fan. Never a Vegas fan. Benjamin West says, NFL owners don't care about the people they affect most. It's horrible. Yeah, but Benjamin, what do you think? What will you say if the deal falls apart? Emil Scott, didn't you mention a while ago that the courts ruled in favor of the city of Oakland to retain the Raiders name? No, I did not say that. I'm glad you mentioned that. What I said was that the California Supreme Court gave the city of Oakland and the county of Alameda a provisional right to use eminent domain to acquire the team. Okay, to acquire the team in full. In full, but it had to prove that it had to prove its public use argument. In other words, okay, we'll let you use eminent domain, but you've got to tell the lower court what your reasons are. And the lower court didn't buy their reason, which was not economically based. It was based purely on public space at the time. That was a mistake. But what remained intact was the ability for an argument to be made that the Raiders, yes, are intangible property, but are still subject to a taking with just compensation. Okay? In other words, court says, all right, City of Oakland, Alameda, the Raiders are yours, but you have to pay Mr. Davis and his ownership, his board, the fair market value of the team, which is about what 2.4 billion. Okay, that's what that is. Right? I didn't say that they have a right to take the name. No, it's a difference. No, and the reason why I emphasize that is to sue for just the name, rather than eminent domain of the entire organization, is a losing strategy in my view. In my view, you might as well just go. The California Supreme Court gave you an open door. Take it. That's all I'm saying. Now, Go Warrior says there's not Oakland, Vegas, right? And we're getting some traction here. Steve Collins says I will not attend any more Raider games. And Go Warrior says he's a confused little person. Go Warriors, you're not a little person. 831 Scott says it would be amazing if the Vegas deal fell apart. When they got the vote to move, it ripped my heart out. I hope the deal falls apart, or Mark Davis. I hope the deal falls apart, or Mark Davis changes his mind and stays in Oakland. Hey, hold on a second. I gotta see something here? Did the Tories turn around and win in the UK? Let's see what's going on here. Taylor Swift. Red, Clegg. What's going on here? BBC election. Let's see what happened here. I'm curious. Curious to know. Corbyn, time for May to go. The Prime Minister called the election because she wanted a mandate. Well, the mandate she's got is lost Conservative seats, lost votes, lost support, and lost confidence. And let's see here. Wow. This is interesting. People are going to wake up, open their curtain, and see this BBC election. Wow. How about that? So, Jeremy Corbyn has turned Theresa May into a backup dancer. Some of these memes are hilarious. I mean, you got to check this out. Watch this, folks. The UK election. Look at this. This is hilarious. Hold on.
The very, very wealthiest to pay a bit more. The alternative is what? More food banks, more homeless people, more people on housing waiting lists, more queues in our hospitals, more than 1 million people already waiting for social.
That's pretty cool. So the UK has new leadership, and wow, that's stunning. That is stunning. The Tories have taken a fall. The Tories took a fall. How about that? The Conservatives went down. The Conservatives went down. So that's what happened. Who saw that coming? As expected, wow. Not much of a failure as the New Zealand 1984 snap election when Robert Muldoon was drunk and called, won, and lost. Theresa May will step down undoubtedly. Shambolic political strategy has made an absolute fool of herself. So there you go. The UK is going to have a new leader, and his name is Jeremy Corbyn. Okay? To which Donald Trump is now surrounded. He's going to have Jeremy Corbyn over here. He's going to have Enrique Macron over here from France. He's got Angela Merkel over there. He's got nowhere to turn. He's got his only friend is Putin. That's weird. That's not what we're used to in America. I'm just saying, all right? That's weird. Now, Don Davis is not sure that I had to build a new one to begin with. Yeah, Cavs in 7. Go Warrior says, read my whole comment, you'll see why I'm a confused person. Here it is. There is not in Oakland where you should watch games. You live in Oakland and they're in Vegas. I'm half Vegas, half Oakland. I'm not confused. Benjamin West says, I would be happy if the deal fell apart. I saw that again, okay? King Jose. King Jose is here. let's troll King Jose, everybody. Yeah, I'm just teasing you, King Jose. King Jose says Cavs in 7. Oh man. John Davis says, not sure why they have to build a new one. 831 Scott says, laugh out loud, King Jose, in your dreams, Warriors in 4. Octavia Arias says, Cavs who? Take out the broom. John Mark says, Warriors sweep. Steve Collins says, LeBron who? And Go Warriors says, hey King, how you doing? John Davis says, the King is back. King Jose says, mark my words, the Cavaliers comeback starts tomorrow. Okay, we're going to mark your words. Go Warriors says, missed ya. Rick Rice says, big baby LeBron. BBL. Almost the BBC. Almost the BBC, yes. Now, here's, all right. No, we did not ban the King. We have never banned King Jose. Okay, there was talk of that early on, but I convinced everyone that King Jose was a proud, valuable member of our family who likes to occasionally troll us, so we just troll him back. Ricky Bobby. Whoever is Ricky Bobby? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. Okay, I have some idea, but whatever. I don't know. That's all I'll say about that. Let me just say that Ricky Bobby got a little too big for Ricky Bobby's britches. How's that, okay? How's that? 831 Scott says, I'm a Warriors fan, but Jordan was the GOAT, not LeBron. Octavio says, King Jose is cool with him, alright? And yeah, King Jose is fine with me, man. King Jose is just fine. Now, I wonder what kind of news we have the day before. Wow, the BBC election. Let's see what LeBron James is calling. Let's say LeBron James or LeBron. LeBron. The latest about LeBron is this. Nothing. Sneakers. LeBron's flop attempt on Curry's steal. Call it a flop attempt? Wow. And everybody's talking trash. Not just King Jose. King who says, has any of you heard the Cavs will add PG-13 in the offseason if they lose to keep up with the... whatever. NBA math. The Cleveland Cavaliers are down 3-0 in the NBA Finals. Here's how the players stack up through and they have a comparison there. Let me see here. NBA Finals. NBA Finals Game 3. I'm going through Twitter to see what the comments are. TV ratings. NBA Finals continues to rise in 2016. Game 3 up. And let's see here. You've got... The first close game of the NBA Finals goes to the Warriors. The Cavs had their best game of the series, but it wasn't enough. I don't think that was the Cavs' best game because they had 4 players that were inactive. So I don't think it was their best game at all. ESPN says for all the multitaskers, you can stream Game 3 of the NBA Finals. That was June 7th. That's an old tweet. Let's see. Let's go to the latest for the search. John Mark says history will be made tomorrow night. Warriors versus Cavs. NBA Finals Game 3 ratings up 14% from last year. Warriors mini movie NBA Finals. And we've got NBA Finals live stream, how to watch. Mike Garrett says check this out. We've got we've got a cool kind of shaking thing going on between Steve Kerr and KD. And there's a Twitter account that I thought said the Lonely Broom, but it says the Lonely Breath. I was thinking broom, like, sweep. No. And let's see what we have here. Zach Rice says, I don't understand this. LeBron's about to be 3 for 8 in the NBA Finals over his career, 2 of which were sweeps if Golden State wins Game 4. Yeah, how about that? So let's talk about that. If LeBron James loses these finals, is he the greatest still? I think he's good, but I'm not sure that he's the greatest. I still think that Jordan is better than LeBron James, okay? I'm warming up to the idea that LeBron James is getting close to Jordan, but he's got to win in order for him to seal his legacy as one of the greatest. Well, yeah, as if he wants to make an argument, is what I'm saying, as greatest of all time, he's got to win this championship. If he doesn't, forget it. Okay. Jordan retains the mantle, the title, the crown, the jewels. That's it. And John Davis says Kaepernick needs a job. And yeah, and so Rick Rice says not even Joe Flacco could save the Cavs. Dang. Now King Jose would trade Irving for Westbrook. That would be something. That would be one heck of a development. And Mr. Jurady3 says that was their best zine monster to stop the BS. And Joseph Jones says, hell no. Jordan is undefeated in the finals. Octavio said, no fade shot. You let Jordan fade away was a thing of beauty. Oh. You know? John Marks says, Jordan is the GOAT. Rick Rice says, elite indeed, John Marks. And, you know, I want to find, there's got to be someone, somewhere has had to make the definitive, absolutely unequivocal Jordan versus LeBron connection. Let's see. Jordan versus LeBron. Someone, somewhere in this big, wide internet world did it. All right? In fact, you know what? Ta-da! LeBron James versus Michael Jordan comparison. Landofbasketball.com has done it. I will read it to you. All you gotta do is go to landofbasketball.com. LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, head-to-head comparison, you know? So we've got, all right. They've got, I got to show you this. I have to turn around and show you this. This is it. Take a look. Boom. All right. World Championships. That's LeBron James. That's Michael Jordan. NBA seasons. LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Playoffs played. LeBron James, Michael Jordan. All-Star games. LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Look at that. Season MVP. Jordan's the winner. Finals MVP. Jordan's the winner. All NBA first team. LeBron's the winner. All NBA teams. LeBron's the winner. All defensive first team. Jordan. All defensive teams. Jordan again. Defensive player of the year. LeBron, no. Jordan got it. Scoring leader. Michael Jordan. Steals leader. Michael Jordan. Rookie of the year. Michael Jordan. So, points per game. Michael Jordan. Rebounds per game. LeBron. Assists. LeBron. Steals. Jordan. Blocks. Even. Shockingly. Total points. Michael Jordan. Total rebounds. LeBron. Look at this. Total assists. Hey, we'll miss you, Golden Warriors. Total blocks. Total games. Field goal percentage. I mean, look at this. Even, almost even. 3 points. LeBron's ahead. Free throw. Jordan's a better. Points per game. Jordan. Rebounds. LeBron. Assists. LeBron. Steals. Jordan. Blocks. Jordan. NBA playoff stats. I mean, look. It's just adding up. That more often than not, LeBron Jordan is not better than LeBron Jordan. Long night, folks. Michael Jordan is clearly better than LeBron James. End of story, King Jose. What you got to say now? All right? Now, no, it's not even close. It's a blowout. King Jose, it's a blowout. Uncle, dude. Just Uncle. Yeah, I know I said LeBron Jordan. How about, but you know what? LeBron Jordan. That would be pretty cool. You know? How would you get a LeBron Jordan? I don't want to talk about it. Anyway. Oh, boy. Not to mention Jordan took time off to play baseball. Right. John Davis says, whoever had more commercials wins. Go Warriors says, bye, y'all. Hey, Go Warriors, have a great time at camp. And, hey, man, Keep in touch. Let us know. Send us a card from camp. Let us know how things are going. And we'll be on. I'll be on tomorrow night. Special live stream after the Warriors game. I'll have to. Be a little late though. King Jose says he didn't take time off for basketball because of his gambling. That's mean. That's mean. That's mean. Steve Collins says apples to oranges, King. John Mark says Michael James. Yeah, Michael James and LeBron Jordan. Go Warriors says okay. John Davis says don't name your kid LeBron Jordan. LeBron Jordan. I kind of like that. Rick Rice says, I've decided that LeBron is the better athlete, but Jordan is the better basketball player. It comes down to what they do in clutch time. Jordan gets game-winning shots. LeBron passes to Korver. Octavio Arias says, who sells more sneakers? Jordan. Boom. Benjamin West says, Jordan will always be number one. Not to discredit LeBron. He's a great player as well. Yeah, but see, LeBron is a player who is great with a supporting cast, right? Jordan is just great being Jordan, period. He elevates everybody. And I'm not saying that LeBron James doesn't do that for players that without him and a certain type of coaching mix or approach wouldn't have as much success. But look at where LeBron James has went and then what happened to the team after he left. Enough said. Enough said. Does that make him better than Jordan? Well, no, we see that. The stats prove that. Benjamin West says Jordan will always be number one. Not to discredit LeBron. Octavio Arias says Jordan was an artist on the court. 831 Scott says it doesn't matter what the reason is. He still could have added more to those stats if he didn't take time off. He could have added another title to his name. True. That's really true. Ruben Hotiz says, hey Zane, just tuned in. Think Vegas will still fall apart? Yes, I certainly do, Ruben. And things are about to go nuclear, dude. Just letting you know. Benjamin West, true. LeBron is a good facilitator. And Def has always had more talent. Rick Rice says Lebron is a great player, but there still can only be one GOAT. That's right. That's right. So Ruben Ortiz, what do you think? You're chiming in to tell me what the other side of the equation, man. What say you? Will you come back? What you thinking, huh? And you are too, Ruben. Thanks, man. What you thinking? All right. Thank you. Boy, oh boy. John Mark says, is Las Vegas anywhere near North Korea? Oh my God. Oh my God. Man. Oh, that's bad. I don't know about that one. In fact, which reminds me, I didn't check the North Korean news. I should have done that. King Jose says Jordan also pushes off to get open shot. He creates space. Hey, wait a minute. Whoa, wait. King Jose, you're talking about going to MSU, right? You're talking about being a walk-on and being a great player, right? Isn't that what you should do? I'm just asking. Don't you think Tom Izzo would like for you to do that? All right? Major says, you're wrong, Zinni. No. More than a 32? What the heck is he talking about? Major. Joel, let's see here. Raider Kuko. I'm from Waukegan, so you know my goat is. MJ. More than the 32? MJ, are you talking about 32 like, oh, you're talking about Magic Johnson? Magic Johnson does know more basketball than I do. So what? Big deal. King Jose says, LeVar Ball. Hey, there's an idea that LeVar Ball may go to the Warriors. Rick Wright says, you can already start to see LeBron's decline. He looks a lot slower and tires real easily now. Yeah, I think he gets excited, and sometimes his moves are not disciplined. But tomorrow, considering that the Cavs had 4 that did not play, coach's decision, tomorrow's going to be a different game. It really is. Rick Rice says LeBron's best James. I said LeBron's best James are behind him. LeBron's best games are behind him. In my view, says Ruben, also being a season ticket holder for 20 plus years, I see this deal falling apart and the Raiders are going to stay in Oakland and win championships. Keep hope alive, says Ruben. I agree. Like I said, this thing's about to go nuclear. I'm going to say that again. Nuclear. I'm talking about the Raiders deal. Nuclear. It's going down. You watch. Rick Rice says, time to represent Sean Livingston. He's the future. And you say I'm at 32 NFL owners. What about 32 NFL owners? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? 32 NFL owners, what? Your comment is making no sense. Okay? At all. 831 Scott says, Dwight Howard, when asked who was a better player, LeBron or Kevin Durant, he said Kevin Durant. I found that really interesting. I didn't know if he was just taking a shot at LeBron or what. He probably was taking a shot at LeBron knowing Dwight. That's definitely the case. Jamal Willis says BBM. Now, Rick Rice says Ruben. 100%. John Mark says Raiders deal in Las Vegas has North Korea written all over it. Jamal Mills says, so what's the topic tonight? Okay. The topic right now is, well, actually I'm going to bed in a few minutes because I've been on stream twice. I'm exhausted. Long day tomorrow. Big weekend coming up. Big week tomorrow. Big week ahead. So, I got to get some rest. Octavio says Raiders will play 4 more years in Oakland, but if the city doesn't get its act together, the Raiders will go somewhere else. So say you, Octavio. King Jose says, you mean Lonzo. Jacob P says, Zuni, I'm here. You're late again, Jacob. What's going on, dude? Oh, Vegas is so not a done deal, man. Vegas is so not a done deal. Boy, oh boy. You're gonna have a real bellyache very soon. I'm just letting you know, dude. You're gonna have a really you're gonna go blah. Hey, so what are you gonna do when you find out that things are gonna go south? I'm just asking. Are you gonna what? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay. I'll give you your answer. You will do nothing, Mr. Bond. Nothing. That's my Goldfinger imitation. You will do nothing, Mr. Bond. Nothing. Now, Jacob, what did you see, Jacob? Did you see Wonder Woman? Great movie. Great movie. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean? I'm seeing Wonder Woman a second time. John Mark says, which is why Octavio called Denise Reed Francoise. Okay? Steve Collins says, San Antonio watching Vegas closely. Hey, Mr. You says I'll admit you're right. Don't admit that I'm right. It's not about it being right and wrong. It's a matter of learning why things go wrong. Okay? Because what I don't like about the discourse today is, oh, I'm right and you're wrong, without understanding the substance of why things occur. Because it's ideas like the one you expressed that kill investigative media. All right? So please, find out what happened. Don't tell me I'm right. I don't care. Well, I don't. Because I was saying, well, because I have a big ego. Fine. But the bottom line is, so what else is new? But the whole point is, I always like to say this, so what else is new? But the whole point is, my drive, my assertion is to learn. Learn why in development deals don't work out. Learn why deals like this always have that left turn you didn't expect, or maybe you weren't prepared for. Learn why it's important to not rush these things. Okay? Alright? Because I'm going to say this again. I love Las Vegas. So my point of view is nothing against Las Vegas. But the Raiders did not handle this correctly. And the Raiders are a good historic organization that deserves better. It deserves to treat itself better. It deserves to treat Oakland better. Oakland deserves it. But this is about rushing a complex deal and really trying to do a deal that has extremely bad fundamentals. And you have to spend billions to overcome it. That's all I'm saying. So it's not a matter of, you're right or I'm wrong, or vice versa, or I'm right or you're wrong, whatever. It's a matter of learning. That's what I'm interested in. You see what I'm getting at? I hope you do. Yeah. So John Mark says, the athletic director, and Haley Mew says, what makes you so sure that the Vegas deal will fall through? Well, first of all, the UNLV issue that I've spoke about, all right? Oh, by the way, in a big setback for Prime Minister May, UK election is done. She's lost. Out. Now, coming back to Haley. Oh, Haley, welcome, by the way. It says, first of all, the UNLV issue and the complexities of what they're asking for, which were not thought through, and the difficulty the Raiders are going to have with feeding that beast. You can't get a profit out of it. Okay? It's carving a figurative hole in those dates where they're using it, where the Raiders can't get revenue from it. That's a fundamental problem. Okay? Then there's the Las Vegas region and the comparatively weak corporate base it has versus the cost of the stadium when you look at Atlanta by comparison. Okay? Remember, Sheldon Adelson is not involved anymore. A number of people confirm that. This deal was designed with Adelson's money. The assumption was that Adelson was going to pay for everything, including off-site transportation costs. This was to be his gift, his legacy. That was the idea. All right. But even beyond Adelson, there are other reasons why this thing's gonna see a lot more dark, if it ever. And if it gets to that dark, it gets to that dark. But that dark's gonna be pretty dark. I'm just letting you know that. Okay. And let's see here. Can she get the Raiders a stadium? Ah. King Jose. And Mistress, I got you. Yeah, see, that's all I'm saying. It's not, to me, it's fun learning. And I'm glad, Mr. You say that. Yeah. Octavia says, nobody in Oakland government is pointing up. John Mark says, we wish you the very best. Well, King Jose is Zenny. I leave to MSU today. My flight is at 5 a.m. Hopefully the trip goes well and nothing bad happens. Hey, let's all give King Jose a hand for being a great sport and participating. Good luck at MSU. Please come back and visit us. Absolutely, all right? And, yeah. Hey, folks, it's 23 of you watching. It's 1:35 in the morning, and I'm gonna go to sleep. It's late, all right? Thank you, King Jose. But thanks, everybody. I'm going to wave goodbye. I am exhausted. This has been a long day. Good night, everybody. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Haley's new. She says that Goldfinger impression meant bad timing was near. Yeah. But did you like my Goldfinger impression? I love that. That's one of my most favorite scenes in all Bond movies. Bond is on this laser, on this bed with lasers pointing at him, and he's kind of out there, you know what I mean? And Bond, Sean Connery, says, "Well, do you expect me to talk?" And Art Goldfinger says, "No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die." Hilarious. Every time I see that, I laugh. You are the man. You're the man. Rick Rice, you're the man. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm exhausted. I'll see you all. And you can bet I'm going to find something else that's Bond-oriented. See you guys. See you, John Marks. See ya. See ya. I like that, Haley. I'll keep that in mind. That's a good one. I'll see you. Good night, everybody. See you.